Hi guys, and welcome back to episode 1 of this new Wardle Road series. Now this is not the brake van series, so if you want to watch that playlist, I'll leave a card up here somewhere for you to go and watch that. But today, as you can probably tell from the title and thumbnail, it's something a little bit different. Now in the brake van series episode 1, I think I mentioned that I originally was looking for a box van, as that's kind of my favourite type of rolling stock when it comes to the double O gauge stuff. I have a fair few box vans. However, when the brake van was offered to me, it was kind of a too good opportunity to miss. However, I've still been on the hunt for a box van, and after searching far and wide, we ended up being just at the other end of the Colne Valley site to one of the wagons that belong to the Besps group, next to the Black 5 group down the other end of the Colne Valley Railway. Now, as I said, I was looking for a box van, and this one became available, so obviously I've bought it. And today's video, we're going to be taking a little look over it, what we need to do to it, some of the features, some of the things it don't have, and yeah, so hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this series that's going to run alongside the brake van series. I'm also down here today as well to finish off episode 13 of the brake van series, so these two are going to kind of run alongside each other. Now these episodes are probably going to be 10-15 minutes max, as there's not as much to do on this one as there is on the brake van. But obviously in an ideal situation at some point, we're going to have them together and running together, which I think is going to be fantastic. But yeah, as I say, today's video, we're just going to go over a few bits and bobs and look at maybe some of the similarities and differences between obviously the brake van and the box van, when we look at the axle boxes and the couplings, etc. But yeah, if you're looking forward to this series, please hit the thumbs up. Any feedback in the comment section, as always, across my videos is very much appreciated. There is also a way to donate should you wish now in the comment section, and that's by clicking the little thanks icon below the video, and that will leave a donation in the comment section as well. So yeah, let's not waste any more time. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy both these projects running alongside each other, as well as a couple of other bits that we're going to get up to at the Colne Valley Railway as well. So let's get into today's video. Right, so while I show you a couple of images of various parts of this box van, I've also got a little information sheet on it here, so I'm just going to run through some of the information that I found out so far about it. Of course, if you know anything about it at all, or if you know somewhere where there might be more information about it, of course, please do leave it in the comments section below. The same as if you know any liveries it was in, etc. That's all going to be super helpful information. So yeah, just leave a comment below and I'll get round to reading it very soon. So this Great Eastern Railway goods van was built in 1916 in East London at the Stratford depot. The capacity of this is 10 tonnes, and as you can see from these pictures, it has doors on both sides. Now this is actually an unfitted box van, so there's no through pipe, there's no air or anything like that on it. So I'm going to have to fit a through pipe for it to connect up with the brake van and to be used in service. Its current running number is E6, and then the rest of it is actually unknown. But before that, it was numbered Romeo November Alpha Delta 209, as well as 531199. So I'm undecided as to what number I'm going to put this back to. Again, it all depends on liveries as well. So from all the various angles that you'd have seen and be seeing throughout this video, the wood is actually in really good condition. It's really sort of stood the test of time, if you will, all except this one door piece, this one door, the sort of first part of the hinge here, and the metalwork and woodwork running up the inside here. This has definitely seen better days, so this is all going to need to be replaced on this side. However, the door on the other side is in perfectly good condition. Obviously this has all been added at a later date just to keep the door closed, as currently it houses some of the Blue Star parts that belong to the Besps group. So the chassis overall is in fantastic condition, considering this was built over, which I just find mental, over 100 years ago. This was put together. I just find that's just a crazy sort of time period for this to still be in such good condition. So the chassis is literally just going to need sort of first layer paint removing, of course our favourite Hydrate 80 and a fresh coat of paint, so there's nothing to worry about with that. Obviously, as I mentioned before, the axle boxes will need to be checked before it rolls, because basically down this end where all the sort of wagons and freight are, there's going to be a big engineering are doing a big reshuffle in a few weeks time. So obviously it was important for me to come and check this out and make sure, obviously, I purchased it and everything before it was then moved out of here, as this track will then, for the foreseeable future, not be accessible as such. But more on that later on. The woodwork, as I mentioned, apart from the door, is all in really good condition. And actually the paint on the top here has done a fantastic job at protecting most of the wood underneath. So much so I don't think there's actually, looking around the wagon anyway, there's any wood that's actually going to need to be replaced. Now I'm not sure if this is the original panelling. If it is, again, I'm going to be incredibly impressed at the fact it's lasted this long. It's obviously been well looked after. And the metalwork in general, all the cross pieces and all the uprights, all in relatively good condition. There's a couple of pieces here that need patching up with a bit of metal or something, but I think I have to get Michael down here to weld some repair pieces onto only a couple of the holes that appear around the box van. So unlike the brake van, as I said, I'd point out if there was many differences. These axle boxes actually work on a sort of door, sort of lift up door type system, rather than the drop box, the sort of half drop box that the brake van has. So this will just be a matter of undoing this here, and then this should become loose and flip open, and then the axle will be visible. The leaf springs, all four of them, are in fantastic condition. There's not too much strain on them at all. Sometimes you find if wagons are left for a really long time, they end up losing their spring, if you like. But no, all four of these are in really, really good condition. Again, down this end as well, there's just a couple of small patches here where well, I think so far I've only counted 2 holes where that might need to be replaced. But again, once it's had a coat of Hydrate 80 and some hammerite paint, it shouldn't get any worse. So they're very minor defects really. Let's take a quick look underneath as well, because I've just noticed something that I don't think I've seen before on any of the wagons I've been underneath. And that is that the coupling hook is actually connected to this giant leaf spring that runs the span of the buffer beam on each end, which I didn't know that was actually a thing, but maybe that's just my lack of knowledge. I don't know if that's a common thing or not, so please do let me know in the comment section. I thought in most cases a bar kind of runs from here through to the other coupling hook. But yeah, that all looks in fairly good condition as well. Just some minor bits of rust, and also looking under here, all the floorboards look in fantastic condition, and there's nothing of any serious concern under here at all. Obviously I got Charles to have a look over it first beforehand, just to make sure nothing stood out as sort of any issues or anything worrying, and he gave it the all okay, so hopefully we've got ourselves a nice little box van here. So this is the other end of the box van, and as you can see just on that left hand upright there, there's a couple of tiny holes, but again nothing affecting the structure as such of the box van. And you've also still got the lamp bracket on the end there as well, which is nice. And then down there you've just got your bog standard, somewhere in those leaves, the bog standard 3-link coupling. This hasn't, I can't remember, well, I have no idea when the last time this was actually disconnected, but it has a handlebar. I'm not sure what the terms are again, so I'm just going to call it a handlebar on each side, although the brake blocks are actually only on one side of the set of wheels. So we'll go over to the other side now and take a look at those. So looking at the doors on the other side, as you can see, all the wood around the hinges here are all in really good condition and still all in one piece, which is fantastic, which means I can then measure these pieces up and copy them on the other side. And then the only other bit of an issue here is there's some damage on the door, but again, that's just a little bit of woodwork. The rest of the body is all in fantastic condition. Like I said earlier, I'm not sure if this is the original wooden panelling, but if it is, then I'm amazed it's lasted 100 odd years, because the condition of it is absolutely fantastic. Obviously the roof is a roof felt which has been added at a later date, as most wagons' roofs deteriorated a lot quicker than the rest of it. So obviously a felt roof has been added to protect everything inside. So aside maybe a little bit of adjustment on the brakes, a new paint job and a bit of woodwork around the doors, there's really not that much to do on this, and in general I'm really pleased with the wagon. Of course, at some point I've got to add a through pipe for the vacuum braking. This won't itself have vacuum braking, but of course I need something if this is in the middle of the train, so the vacuum can get to the rest of the wagons behind it. But I think other than that, I don't think this is going to be a tremendously difficult job. I just think it's going to be a matter of trying to do some more research to find out a bit more about the liveries, and what the original running number, to try and find that out would be fantastic. You've still got the little bit of metal here where you'd put the information about where the wagon was going to end up. I can't remember what the term for that is, but I'm sure someone will let me know in the comments. And then once again, just a few little holes and things in the metalwork here that just need fixing up. Again, I'm going to have to ask Michael very kindly to come down here and sort a few of those out. But it's nothing major. The rest of the chassis itself is in fantastic condition. Of course, we looked at the underside of it, all in really good condition as well. There is also the leaf spring at the other end under the other coupling. As I say, I've never seen anything like that before. So if that's a common thing, do let me know. Now, according to the notes, there is still many of these in preservation. Now, that number, I don't know how many is, but it'd be interesting to see what other ones what other ones in preservation look like at the moment, and see if we could base perhaps some of the design of them onto this one. So I think that just about wraps up episode 1 of the Box Van Diaries. I'm not sure if we'll come up with a catchier name for it, but that's what we're going to run with for now. So just to briefly summarise what we've looked at, the things that need doing will be perhaps adjusting the brake blocks. Obviously, I'm not entirely sure how much they should be, what the tolerance for the gap between the brake block and the tyre is. The paint job, some woodwork repairs on a couple of the doors, a few little minor repairs on some of the metal work, and then obviously stripping the metal back and repainting that as well. Other than that, we just need to fit the vacuum through pipe, and then at some point in the future we'll have a look at the interior. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this brief video. I'm going to leave you now with some photos and shots of the box van, just for you guys to see a little bit better. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you did, please do hit the thumbs up, and of course any feedback is always appreciated in the comment section. I hope you guys are going to enjoy the 2 series running alongside each other. As I said, this isn't going to need as much work as the brake van will need, so my time is still going to be very much spent on the brake van. However, when I get a couple of hours spare, I'd like to come down and work on this, as well as a couple of other projects and wagons that we're working on down here at the Colne Valley Railway. So other than that, I will leave you to enjoy these shots, and I will see you all in the next one. Cheers.